Hey guys, welcome to another week of WoW Weekly with Myst. For this week's events, we have Day of the Dead that will be on November 1st to November 3rd. And that just runs for a couple of days. There's a couple of achievements that are involved in that one. And then we also have World Quests as the weekly, as well as pet battles. And Dark Moon Fair will start on Sunday, and the PvP Brawl for this week is Packed House. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with for our news is the new 12-month sub that occurred. So this one is for another Gerlach pet. This is the second one, and it's a very pretty one, purple and pink. I'll show it off a bit. Here's a clip that I did earlier in the week. I'm going to throw this picture up on screen. This is something I saw on my gift tab in my BattleNet. This is because I bought the 12-month subscription last year around this same time. So that was well worth the money. I really thought I'd have to buy another year for the next 12-month bundle. So crazy. So we'll definitely have to buy the next one after that. But yeah, we got this for free. Let's check out our goodies. I didn't even have to pay for this, which is lovely, I'm just gonna say, because like I said in my last week's WoW Weekly, this is like $200 Canadian. I'm paid up to like March or something, March, April. So yeah, this was free as long as I redeemed it before March, and I redeemed things right away. So yeah, there's no way it was gonna sit in there for longer than a day. So here's the new one. Very nice. Yeah, so I have two of these now. So very awesome. And yeah, and here's another one. Okay, that guy looks better than he looked in the picture. Honestly, I didn't even realize it was a bear in the picture. I thought it was like a cat. But clearly we can see that's, more a bear than a cat. So this includes everything in the current 6-month bundle and the next 6-month sub bundle. I didn't hop over to Classic after. I haven't actually logged in over there yet, but you do get this guy. So I'll just put the picture up on screen. This is the Nightmarish Emerald Drake. You get it in the Classic Wrath version. It's worth it no matter what. Like, if you're on a subscription, definitely check for your free gift, collect your goodies before your time is going to be up. And yeah, and if you're not, I'm just going to say, I have gotten a lot of free shit from subscribing to the 1 year that happened last Christmas. Yeah. There's been a few bundles that have happened since then, and yeah, I like the way they work it now, where if your sub is currently going on a more than a 1-month subscription, on a bundle subscription, you just get the next items. They could be asses and make you pay for it no matter what, right? So yeah, very cool. There was another promotion as well. So this is the Armored Bloodwing. I already had this one, but, for those that maybe started playing the game later or just didn't realize it was on the shop, this is an old shop mount. So yeah. This one is through Twitch Prime, so you just link your Twitch Prime. I'll throw a link in the description of this video, and you can just click it and go claim your mount. Next, I have some 10.2 stuff for you. So I'm just going to roll this cinematic. This is a new cinematic that appeared for us last week. It's the in-game cinematic for Guardians of the Dream.
My brother believed he could control me. This rage inside my heart. My sister believed she could tame me. My fury will not be sated. The aspects believed they could imprison me. But my hatred cannot be contained. They know what is coming. That the unyielding flame draws closer. Ever closer. Even now, they cling to one another in the dark. Lost in their dream. Deceived by those who squandered our birthright. Betrayers. All of them. So it falls to me to make them pay. Their suffering has just begun.
Also, we're going to get a new Hearthstone. This will come from the new raid Amadrassil, and it is the Hearthstone of the Flame. It has a chance to drop off of Laradar, Keeper of the Flame, and this does apply to all difficulties. And this is what it looks like when you use it. I love what they do with the Hearthstones. There's so many good Hearthstones in the game. I'd have to say my two favorites are the Hollow's End Hearthstone that you get, and the Valentine's Day one, the Love is in the Air Hearthstone. Those are my two most used Hearthstones. We also got some news on the Battleground Blitz Brawl. So basically, each team will be 2 healers, 5 to 6 damage dealers, and a tank, or, it says 0 to 1, so it might not even be a tank. The opposite team will always have the same number of tanks as your team does. And matches that do not include a tank will not take place on any Capture the Flag maps, such as Warsong Gulch or Twin Peaks. And matches that have a tank as part of the team will occur on any map. Players will be able to queue either solo or as duo, and this will be 8 versus 8. There will be some new achievements, and they have mentioned that the deserter penalty that's applied after leaving a solo shuffle match will also apply for Battleground Blitz. Also, items, spells, and toys that currently cannot be used in the rated Battlegrounds will not be able to be used in the Battleground Blitz either. As for gear, the item level is above 312. And it will scale to 472, and you'll need a minimum item level of 330 to queue for the Brawl. Okay, and I left the best for last, so let's talk BlizzCon. We got the schedule. So here is the day 1 schedule, which is November 3rd, which will be this Friday. Okay, so I decided to show you guys the full schedule, not just the WoW schedule, for those that maybe care about some of the other games. So 11 a.m. opening ceremony, 1:30 is when we will find out what the next WoW expansion is in retail, and they'll probably give us some 10.2 stuff as well, and the rest of Dragonflight, anything going on with the ending of Dragonflight and all that. 2:30 is when they will talk about Overwatch 2. It would be interesting to know what they plan on revealing for Overwatch 2, because Overwatch 2, honestly, was a dead game on release for me. I love the first Overwatch, but Overwatch 2 just feels... It's like it feels the same, but the things I dislike are very much different, you know? Like, my major gripe with Overwatch 2 is that skins you could earn in the first one for free, basically, through events, you purchase now in Overwatch 2. So I just found that they got very greedy with microtransactions in Overwatch 2. But yeah, and then of course there was, there was changes they made along the way, promises they decided not to go through with. 3:30 will be when we find out what's going on with WoW Classic. Personally, I think it's just going to be the release of Classic Kata. Of course, I'm hoping for Classic Plus, but to be perfectly honest, I think it's just going to be Classic Kata release date, more or less. But they could always just say they're working on Classic Plus and leave it at that. You know, like no one's expecting a Classic Plus to release, right? All people really want with Classic is to know that they have plans to put new things in. That would be good enough for the community for now. 4:30 is Hearthstone. I imagine they'll announce a new Hearthstone expansion there. And then 5:30 is Warcraft Rumblings. I saw a lot of people on Twitter and stuff not really putting this title together. They were saying, oh, it must be a new game, or they're gonna sneak some random thing. This is the mobile game. It's literally called Warcraft Rumble. And yeah, I'm glad to see it gets its own panel, though. And the fact that it does get its own panel may actually be a good thing if you like that game. Because typically, if it gets its own panel, it means there's enough content worthwhile to put in that panel. So that is very cool. So that is day one. Day one's going to be the most hyped day because that's when we're going to find out pretty much the only thing that most WoW people want to know. What's the new retail expansion and what's the new classic content. Day 2, November 4th, which will be Saturday, 12 p.m. we'll have the WoW deep dive. This is where you'll see some gameplay and stuff like that. 1:30 p.m. is going to be the Overwatch 2 What's Next. 2:30 D4 Campfire Chat. They'll probably be talking about the next season. 4:45 is Community Night. And that usually is like transmogs and stuff. So that's probably like if you're interested in watching like the transmog contests, that's, I say transmog, but it's cosplay. It's cosplay. But yeah, gamer brain, right? But cosplay, and those are fun to watch. I've of course, when I went to Blizzcon during the last one that happened, which was like 4 years ago, because, COVID and all that shit happened after, I of course, took part in everything, right? Because if you're there, you might as well be there for everything, because you've paid for it, and you've paid your travel and your hotel, and you might as well just experience it all. And Community Night was a really fun one. I liked it. 6:15, Le Seraphim Appearance. I vaguely Googled this because I've never heard of these people. So this is the music feature, and I don't know why they chose this one. It's an Asian girl group, and yeah, they don't fit the theme. Like they would fit the theme more if this was like a Final Fantasy fucking convention or something, you know. But for Blizzard, yeah, I don't know why they went with this group. Maybe there's an agenda since it's girls, you know. Like, yeah, maybe there was an agenda. Yeah, since they've gone through there's been a lot going on with Blizzard since the last BlizzCon that involved females. So yeah, I personally feel like there might be an agenda with that. But yeah, nonetheless, if you like that kind of music, it's K-pop. Like, yeah, it's kind of a stretch from their, you know, Metallica and all that. But whatever. That's what they chose this year. Okay, so for a little more WoW specific schedule, here we have the day one, doors open, the opening ceremony, retail at 1:30, classic at 3:30. And then that's pretty much everything going on WoW-wise for November 3rd. November 4th, day 2. Guild Clash is like a tournament. So it's like 3 tournaments. So that's why it's a couple of hours there. The deep dive is going to be at noon. Arena finals, 12:30. Some 10.2 Mythic Plus news at 2 p.m. Mythic Dungeon finals at 4:30. Community night will be at 4:45. And then 10.2 Rage Showcase is at 6 p.m. WoW, you know, WoW's never going to be the same ever again, you know? Like, I'm never going to get that feeling that I got back in 2004 of WoW being the best game ever, you know? Like, yeah, that's how WoW was in my eyes back then. And yeah, I know I'm never gonna get that, but I would like to at least be excited for an expansion. Dragonflight Blue, you know, like, I swear to God, yeah, I'm just gonna say Dragonflight was horrible. You know, or is, because we are still in it. Shadowlands was horrible, and BFA, I actually will give BFA a little more credit than I give Shadowlands and Dragonflight. But it was the start of my dislike of the gearing changes. But yeah, so I just want an expansion. I'm not like hoping for this expansion that's just gonna blow my mind and I'm gonna be like, whoa, that looks amazing, you know? But I just want to at least like the major features, you know? Because with Dragonflight, I immediately disliked dragon riding and I disliked the professions. Those are 2 major features in an expansion. You know, crafting and how you're gonna get around, basically. So for me to have not liked 2 major features basically killed Dragonflight for me. You know, like, you guys only saw Dragonflight because I do videos. Like, we're near the end, I could tell you now. Like, literally, it's because I have a WoW channel. Dragonflight is the worst expansion of all, and I do mean that over Shadowlands. I'm just gonna say, worst expansion. So I can't wait to get out of this expansion and get into one that I actually want to play. So really hoping, Blizzard, that your next WoW expansion announcement is really good. And yeah. Okay, so as for am I gonna be streaming this? I totally intend on streaming Friday, which is day one, because that's the real day I care about. All I want to know is what's the next expansion for retail, and are we getting a classic plus in classic? Like, yeah, Kata was like my first disliked expansion, so yeah, when let's just say when, because we know they're gonna announce, classic Kata. That's not something I'm gonna be excited for. The only thing they could truly excite me over is a classic plus. So yeah, but mainly I do play retail, and I do retail content on the channel. So yeah, my main deal is what's the next WoW expansion, obviously. As for day 2, I really don't give a shit about any of that stuff. Maybe community night if I feel up to it. But aside from that, I really could give two shits. Like, I think if I watched anything on day 2, it would be community night and maybe the WoW deep dive, because that'll give, a little extra. But I think day 2 is committed to 10.2, so I think that WoW deep dive probably won't even be about the next expansion. It'll be regarding the patch that we'll be getting a week after this occurs. So yeah, I really don't care about day 2, which means I'm probably not gonna stream it. I'm busier nowadays. And I'm just going to say I'm going to probably be pretty tired Saturday. My life is a little more busier, which is why you guys haven't really seen any streams. But, I'm about to bump over to the weekly update section. So we'll talk more about that in that section. Okay, so for Myst's weekly update, as far as what did I do in WoW, I regret to admit that I am still farming that damn saddle. And so hopefully next week when I do the news video, I can tell you I got it on the last day. But, at the moment, my hopes are pretty low. I've been farming it on all my characters that can farm it every day. We'll see. I'll let you know if I ended up getting it next week. And the unfortunate part is it won't matter at that point. I wanted it for Hollow's End. I'm not going to use it after Hollow's End is done. Yeah, that's why I think that saddle should have been on the vendor, because it's a themed saddle. Like, it's not going to matter if I get it on the last day. Like, I guess I'll be able to use it, like, next Hollow's End. But, I like those themed things, so I can use them during the event. So yeah, anyway, that's that. The Shale Wing, I did finish my Turbulent Time Ways, got that, so that is done. I, of course, got the subscription mounts because I'm already subscribed, so a couple of new mounts added to the list. And yeah, I guess that's it. Little personal update. I know streams were pretty nil last week, and I do apologize for that. That was not intended. I even put a post saying I was going to put the schedule up soon. Soon was not supposed to be a week later. Usually when I say soon, that means that night. But this past week I had a bunch of stuff happening, and one of them was a career change. So I've been kind of busy, situating myself into that. And yeah, I feel like I've kind of adapted now, and we're doing better. We'll have some streams this week. And so my plan this week, however, best to just check the YouTube channel and see what's scheduled. But at this precise moment, my plan is Wednesday we'll do Mount Farms because, it's been a bit. And Friday, I am going to stream BlizzCon day 1. And then that's really all I'm committing to right now. But I'm sure I'll have some other streams for you guys. But right now, those are the for sure days that I will be on stream. Because my schedule has changed, you might notice less streams because the unfortunate part is I still edit my own videos, right? So being busier now means that I now need to use some of the what would have been stream time to edit the videos. So it's not going to be no streams, but it's definitely not going to be streams all the time. It's tough when you enjoy doing both videos and streams. There's a reason not many content creators do both, and especially regularly, because it's stressful, it's tough. And yeah, once you throw editing into the mix, yeah, streams is easy. But editing takes time. So yeah, just keep in mind that if you don't see me on stream, that means I'm busy editing a video. No matter what, I'm doing content for you guys. So that's all I got to say in this video. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoy BlizzCon, and I hope everything you're wishing for comes true. I'm pretty easygoing. I've gone through 3 completely horrible expansions, which means I haven't actually enjoyed WoW for the past 6 years. As far as new content goes, because like you can always enjoy old content, but you know, what's the point of a new expansion if you don't like the new stuff, right? It's not going to take much to make me happy, Blizzard. Just give me something that I want to play. Because Dragonflight was really odd for me. Dragonflight was the first expansion ever that I actually didn't really play. You know, I stopped doing my M+, I stopped raiding. I, wasn't really doing a whole lot of PvP. You know, there was a lot of changes. I refused to touch the crafting station. The crafting stuff, I leveled my profession, but as far as crafting orders, I did 1 crafting order all of Dragonflight, and it was to help Hops out, who is a fellow guildie. Yeah, that's the only reason that I've done the 1 crafting order that I did. I hated that system, and I refused to do it all of Dragonflight. So yeah, it's not going to take much for them to please me, because as long as it don't got dragon riding in the equation, and the professions, hopefully is back to how it used to be or changed in a better system than it is now. Yeah, like I can't, I hate to say I can't get worse, because that's usually when it does, but I can't imagine how it could possibly be worse than Dragonflight was for me, because like I didn't even want to play that expansion, and for the most part I don't. Yeah, there's very few things that I do in there, and I'm a content player. Like I know you guys see me do mount farming and pet farming and stuff like that, but that's the board content. Like I do that when I got nothing else better to do. The content I truly care about is actual combat, like actual, like raiding an M+. I care about that kind of stuff. And yeah, so yeah. Anyway, without blabbing too long here and extending the video, I'm just really hoping for an expansion that I want to play. Yeah, so that is it for this week's video. I'm kind of glad it was a nice calm one, because next week's gonna be crazy. And also the new patch will have dropped by then. So yeah, crazy week, because the 3rd and the 4th is BlizzCon, and then the 7th is the new patch, which is a major patch. So this isn't like a minor, little tiny patch. This is going to be a major one, so I'm expecting a lot of news to report on for you guys next week between those two things, yeah. And I predict one of those things will be a new set of Twitch drops because, at least for Dragonflight, they seem to like doing the Twitch drops when new patches release. So yeah, I'm surprised we haven't heard of a Twitch drop yet, with it being literally next week. But yeah, I imagine this week we are going to hear about it. Maybe it'll be a really good Twitch drop that they plan on announcing at BlizzCon. Normally, I would not assume that they would announce something so tiny like a Twitch drop at a convention. But if it's something like the Swift Spectral Tagger or something that, people really want, I could see them announcing it there. Yeah, rather than it just being some article on the internet. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.